choice, man.
Looks good, huh?
Yeah, it looks good.
Well, here's my new tire. And see, it compares to the stock AMX wheel or American Motors. And from the back, looks really good. It actually kind of makes it look like the whole car is raised up. Might be because the other wheels in the dirt, but definitely looks better than this. Feel that wheel well up real nice. It's a nice looking wheel. They're American Racing, and probably ought to just get 15s and put on here, because it will look a lot better. I can get the same kind of wheel and tire, and it'll definitely make it, tie it together. It raised the whole car up and made it look a lot better. Well, so, but I can only get them in 15s, and I kind of want to keep the 14s there, give it a raked look, but I can probably get a shorter tire and do the same thing. Anyway, still waiting on my other tire, and I take this one here, and this Roadrunner needs 15s. It's got 14s on it now, and they're all mismatched, and so I can clean these up and use them on a Roadrunner. At least it'd be good enough to drive around, and then if the owner wants to put expensive wheels on it, then he can, but it'll run and drive. And speaking of Roadrunners, I got my transmission rebuilt. Didn't get a video of it. I just paid a guy to do it. Put new shifting forks in it, all new bearings, seals, clips, everything. Is completely rebuilt transmission. Shifts good, so we'll get to moving on this. And you can see one of the wheels is just laying there now. Probably take that out of there. And it's been raining, so this thing has just been jacked up, but tarped up. But I'm going to stick this transmission in there. And I painted this one wheel just real light with blue to see what a blue stripe would do around that hubcap. But after looking at the other one, I'd have to paint it black. Or if I was going to try to get it to match, you know, this is chrome all the way out to the tire, so it would probably be best if I paint that silver. I'll fool around with these tires and see if these wheels will even go on the front. I think they will, but don't know whether they're going to hit those disc brakes in there or not. And moving along on a body work, I got some little spots here that need to be filled. Got it out in the light. These need to be ground off, and it looks like this whole fender here needs to come out. You can see that it's kind of going in, and on this fender here you can see that it's sort of bubbled out. So I don't know which one is right. I think the out bubble is right, because this does look like it's kinked in. I'm going to put a porta power in there and see if I can jack that fender out. I still got a little stuff here around the door. I've got little places here, little dents. You see where I marked them. Quite a bit of little stuff. It looked kind of bad in the sun, but the other side's good. I just have to have to just keep working on this. For now, I'm going to try to see what I can do about fixing this fender here. Get it round and use my magic glazing putty and see if I can get that straight. If I can get that done today, that won't be too bad. And just keep moving, but the wheels and tires look good. So I got these pretty good price. I think the tires were 110 or something, including shipping. The wheels were about the same. These were blims. That one was mounted, had weights on it. They're $150. So you got $300, $400, $500 on the back, and I might as well put another $500 here. Money goes quick, but wheels and tires are not cheap, and they do really make the car look good. So that's probably what I'll do. Anyway, we'll get to work on doing this body work and see what happens. Well, I knocked it out with a porta power quite a bit. And, I still got a little curve in it, curving to the inside. So I got some straight Bondo here. I sanded it good with 40 grit. We're just going to try to fill this whole area. At least to where I can sort of see what's going on. Of course, they put a lot of hammer dings in it. And I'm just building this up, looking down on it to where I think it should be. That's pretty flat. A little curve to it. Just try to fill this whole area here. This lip as much as I can with a curve to the outside, and then try to clean this up a little so I don't have so much sanding. Pretty good. Once your Mondo starts getting hard, no use trying to get it any smoother with Mondo that's hardening up. Cleaning up the parts that look like it's way to the full. Well, that's pretty good. And I use the rest of my Bondo on something that doesn't need it. course, the old wipe the Bondo off of the spatula with a rag trick. If you got a little bit of a wet rag, it seems to help pretty good. And I got that on there pretty heavy, so I'm not gonna try to clean it up anymore. I'll try to knock this down with 40 grit once it gets to a halfway dry point, and a couple more layers of that to get the curve right, and then I'll start working with some of my filler putty. Well, I ground that down. I made myself a template here of the other fender. I can't really show it with one hand, but it looks like there's like this middle section here has got to come out about 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch. And if I look down on it, I can see that it's starting to come out, but I still need to bring this whole thing out about 1/8 of an inch, so put a little more Bondo on it. We're starting to get a little bit of an outside curve to it. Looks pretty straight, kind of bowed out a little. Get a couple more coats of Bondo here. We'll let that harden up, sand it off, try it again. Alright, now here I've got a round spot, so I'm using my finger, and this Bondo is really soft still. This is part of the tip. I've just got a big piece of 40 grit paper, and I'm using my fingers, which are kind of round, and I'm trying to get this rough shape of this fender while the Bondo's still real soft. You could probably make a tool for this, like a rasp or something that was curved, but this is kind of the hardest place to work with, so I'm trying to do it now while it's soft. And the curve wears out as it gets next to the bottom and opens up here at the top. I'm trying to get this basic shape here by eye. That looks pretty good. And the next thing I'll do is generally flatten this stuff out to see where I'm really at. I just use a stiff board. It's still kind of wet, so it's not wet, but it's not cured. And I'm just trimming the high spots down to where it's kind of level. I'm looking down it right now to see what kind of outside curve I've got. There's a little too much right in here. Now there's a Bondo cheese grater that works real good. Now I hit metal here, so I'm done with this section. This has got a low in it. The next thing I'm doing is going to just kind of trim it up to the inside here to where I got a round spot. That looks pretty good. And, put a little feather right where it meets the primer. And now I'm just knocking off the high points. My sandpaper is getting plugged up. And I don't have to really worry about taking the rough highs or lows out. In fact, the rougher you leave it, kind of the better. Now I can see up in here. So I'll bring you in here. Alright, this is a different camera, so probably got some kind of zoom on it. Well, this is good. So you see this is pretty rough right here, but I'm hitting metal. So that means that the height of that metal is basically the height that I want all the way down. So I'm just chewing it out right here, and it looks like if I fill this fender right here, I've got a low spot. It needs to be built up quite a bit, and this place here might be a little high. I'll take a flat piece, trim it down. Yeah, that's pretty good. That made my low spot not quite as big. And looks like I still got some rough stuff in here. This Bondo's still real soft. I'm going to put you back on the famous bucket tripod. And it's getting hard now, so it's actually kind of sanding instead of just rolling off. So I'm again looking down on it, trying to put this curve of the fender in. And just basically taking off rough Bondo. I don't know if that thing was even pointed right. And then, since it's kind of hard, I'll just feather it. And I did have a little low spot in this bend in the metal, so I'm kind of conscious of that. Now at this point, I've got it cut down pretty good, because I'm going to put more Bondo on it. Look right around here in the back where it's feathered into the fender. I can knock that down a little bit, and I'll do that with a DA. got this straight and flat. I worked with the J a little on this round spot here. Probably could use some more in here, but I got this big low spot. Got a couple lows, and then I tried to get it feathered as good as I could, and I tried to get this piece here straight across, so everything's going to a straight area. So, and I'll probably take another inch here, but mostly I'm going to try to fill this place here, fill all these lows, and get this whole piece as straight and flat as I can. And hopefully one more pass of Bondo through here will give me that lip that I need. And this place here, because it was dented right there, and I had to bring this whole thing out, so I just put enough Bondo in it here to, still not very much, you know, 1/8 of an inch. But next we'll mix up a little more Bondo and blow it off. Put a skim coat. I think I'll try using Bondo Honey and Bondo this time, because I'm starting to feather, and it feathers much better if it's kind of wet. There's my coat of Bondo and Bondo Honey. I got it real nice there, straight, it's feathered good. I got plenty of Bondo up there for that piece. I really piled it on here on this corner. Hopefully I can get that in one shot. It'll be enough to finish it. And the other camera died, so bring in on this one. Yeah, it looks good. Still admiring my nice fat tires. Yeah, I'm going to paint this wheel black, or silver rather. Yeah, try to make it look chrome. You know, I probably could get just a rubber piece of chrome strip and put on there. You know, that might make it look real nice. Take that weight off, put it in the back, and just put a 1/2 inch round chrome strip in there and make that a chrome wheel. It's a pretty good idea. I'll try that. Yeah, that camera battery went dead, so here's another one. Anyway, I got this board sanded and DA'd with 80 grits, real smooth. Now I'm going to move on and try some of this icing stuff. Well, we just dump some out here. Big area. And I'm going to try to build that lip up just a little bit. So I give it a pretty healthy squirt of hardener. I'm going to take you over here. And you see it pretty good there. I'll probably be leaning in the way. I'm just mixing this stuff up good. Nice clean spatula. Got a lot here. That's mixed pretty good. I usually always put stuff like this on from the bottom to the top. Gives me a chance to kind of press and rake it and get the putty on the surface first. Might have a little low spot right there. All this is pretty good across here. And then fill my curve up here with any kind of fine stuff I can get. Actually getting quite a bit of putty on here. I'm still kind of just trying to get it all on the car. Make sure it's on there good and tight, you know, I don't have air holes or something like that in it. Just don't go too good. Put it on the bottom. Back here. I don't know what the deal was on that by the door, but stuff sands off pretty easy if you don't need it.
How's it going over here, sir?
Pretty good. Just putting it on. This is that, what do they call it? Icing. USC icing.
Putting the icing on the cake?
Yeah, kind of what it looks like, don't it?
Yeah.
It hardens up real good. Sands real easy. And it's really fine, so it sticks super fucking good. I shouldn't say that on the camera, but sure superior to Bondo.
Oh, hell yeah.
Fight with Bondo forever to try to fill a little place, and you wind up putting a whole pile of Bondo on just to try to go lower it out. So anyway, there's a kind of test of this body putty. I saw part of that. Well, there it is. Sanded again. Looks like there's a kink there. It's not just metal. But got a couple little rough spots in it, but it's ready for primer, and then I can actually see what shape I got. I still really like this stuff. Mixes up easy and sands pretty easy. It's real hard. Yeah, that's alright. It's getting dark, and just breathing this Bondo dust slowed me down good. Didn't put a mask on. I should have done that. Anyway, I've got nice fat tires, so who cares?